crime fans.
Join us October 9th through 11th at
Crime Story Fest.
Crime Story Fest.
Crime Story Fest
At the Doubletree Hilton on Boston's North Shore, Danvers, Massachusetts location.
Crime Story Fest, all things crime and mystery festival.
Come visit us at Crime Story Fest.
What else you got going on? What, are you gonna watch another documentary on Netflix? Come on down to Crime Story Fest. Enjoy yourself. Have a good time. Meet some of your favorite podcasters, authors, experts. This October, Boston, be there.
Hi, and welcome to Danny After Dark. If you're new here, make sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss a notification or a new episode. Tonight is the weekly True Crime and Chill. Mr. Beckham will be fashionably late as always, but we will go ahead and get started in the meantime. So I will say, if y'all can hear it, which to me it's very loud and apparent, so I am still a bit sick, so I feel I do sound a little bit congested still, so my apologies if I do sound off tonight. And my sincere apologies for having to reschedule book club that was supposed to be this past Thursday night. Oh my gosh, it broke my heart to do that. But your girl went home sick from work and was down for the count. So it will be this Saturday at 6 p.m. Eastern. And again, my sincere apologies for having to move it. I was so excited for it. And I still am. It will just be a little bit later than planned. But that, again, will be this Saturday. It will be If You Tell by Greg Olson. And I'm really looking forward to reviewing that book. I have quite extensive notes. I mean, shocking, right? Me. But, oh my gosh, that's one of those books where I'm like, yeah, in the meantime, I'm just, don't say too much, Danny. We will discuss it tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern. So I am rocking brand new hot off the press merch that you can't get anywhere yet. You can't get anywhere. Crime Story Fest merch. So yeah, I got some stuff I will be wearing and I am so excited. Yes, it's only March, but it is coming up in October. So if you guys have not gotten your tickets and you are local or you want to make a trip to come out to Massachusetts, Salem, Boston in October. I mean, are you kidding me? It doesn't get any better. This will be one of the available shirts that will be there this year. And oh my gosh, there are so many exciting things for it in the works. Like, I want to talk about it all, but I can't. So yeah, I'm so excited to rock this tonight. Like, I am so excited. And I'm looking at this. Why does it say my name at the bottom? Y'all know who I am. I must have hit a button. Sorry, did. I'll attend to that. There we go. So what other announcements do we have right now? The Beyond the Crime Convention, that is in 2 weeks. I will be in Albuquerque, New Mexico. I am really looking forward to that. I mean, oh my gosh, I'm so excited to see so many of my podcast girlfriends there. And it's going to be an amazing convention. This will be my first time going to Beyond the Crime. So I'm really looking forward to that as well. So yeah, stay tuned for that. And if you're in the area, yeah, get a ticket, go on down. CrimeCon last weekend in May will be in Vegas. I will be there. I will not have a booth this year. So your girl will be walking around with everybody else, and Beckham will be there as well. So yeah, you get to see Beckham in the wild if you attend, which is quite an experience. I mean, I think that's worth the cost of admission alone, right? So seeing him in the daylight without the dimness of just a candle in the background, oh my gosh. I feel like that was me when I started and now it's him. I don't know. It is what it is. So a few things coming up in addition in regards to shows. I will be releasing the Dave Mack Part 2 interview. Most likely that will be this week's show, or next week's show. So tune in for that. And we go a lot of different directions in that conversation and really, really get to know Dave as a person. And I'm just honored that he took so much time to, talk about his life and his career with me. And I can't wait to share that with you guys. So that will most likely be, I'm thinking it will be released next Tuesday, but stay tuned for sure. And then the AMA, the Ask Me Anything, that will probably be in like a week and a half, I believe. So it will be the week before I go away to Beyond the Crime. So stay tuned for that. I thought it would be Beckham up here getting drilled with the questions too. But now he's like, oh, no. I'm going to host and ask you the questions. Do you guys want Beckham in charge? I certainly don't. But we'll see. We'll see. So stay tuned for that. Other than that, all of the information on where you can find me is still below in the drop down bar. So the Instagram handle, TikTok, Facebook, the merch store, Cameo, the Buy Me a Coffee site, all of that information is down below. So check that out and follow me on social media if you are not already. So let's see who is here tonight, and we will go ahead and get started because there's a lot. There's a lot. And there's particularly a lot that has been happening in Massachusetts. Like, oh my gosh, the corruption, it just doesn't end. It doesn't end. It's frustrating. And we're going to talk about it all. So let's see who's here tonight. Tony Stewart, hello. Yeah, Danny's cat, say hi to you as well. I thought it was strange, no book club during this week. Tony? Me too. I was struggling Thursday. It broke my heart to reschedule, but it's one of those things that the way I've described it to people, where you're like everybody around you is sick at work, in your personal life, everything. And you're just like, oh man, I'm dodging it. And then you no longer dodge it. And you're the one down. It's just, so frustrating. But I guess better now than while I'm away at either Beyond the Crime or CrimeCon. That's the way I'm looking at it. So we'll see. And again, I feel I sound off tonight, but I'm doing my best. Hello, K-Dog. Danny, are we venturing to Salem too? Always, Shelly. Always, every single day. Gotta rescue the cats, right? Brian, hello. Tiger's in jail still, I think. Oh my gosh. I know. I saw that. I had a dance audition earlier, so I'm just back to back things today. And when I pulled up Instagram, I saw that and I was like, Tiger. I have my own feelings about that. But Shelly's like, I will be there. Amazing. Hello, Karen Diamond. Hope all and your cats are well. Sending love and best wishes. Thank you, Karen. Thank you so much. That's so sweet. Nobody loves me. What are you talking about? Shelly was a CrimeCon staple in herself last year in Denver. She, oh my gosh, was so helpful. Shelly, I'm blanking the name of the booth. I know exactly where they were. I can picture the other women that you were assisting, but Shelly was just how can I help? And was a freaking rock star. I'm so mad at myself for blanking the name of that booth, but they were just, such important work they were doing. And I'm just so mad at myself for blanking their name right now. But Shelly was just oh no, I'm not just here. I'm here to help in any way I can make a difference. And she sure did. So Shelly's a CrimeCon staple as well. And I'm sure Shelly, I would really like to think that, this false narrative that Beckham is putting out that he was the king of CrimeCon, I hope you would this year set the record straight that was not the case last year. And it certainly won't be the case this year. Beckham's, his ego. And speaking of a big ego, hi, Mr. Beckham.
Hey,
how's it going?
Good. I came in right on the bright spot, huh?
You certainly did.
Yeah.
Thank you, Karen. You're an avatar, just so you know.
Oh, I know. Give me a second.
Tony, do your Walmart trip whenever works for you, hun. Hey, Wolf. Best part, K-Dog. What is this? What is this? Best part of chocolate bunny, ears or tail? I would say option C, which is like the core. The core. And honestly, so hot tip, everyone. I don't just like, if I'm given a chocolate bunny, I feel like, I don't know, I cut it into pieces and I like prefer to like melt it just a little bit in the microwave. So good. So good. Like it's the only way to eat a chocolate bunny. Or even like the chocolate Santas that you get at Christmas in your stocking. If you guys still get stockings, I know I sure do. Oh yeah, cut it into like little pieces and then you can, spread it out, melt it just for a little bit. Best part. Let's see. Tony Stewart. No, I defer to you. All the bunny's delicious. So you know what? I take back what I said. Still cut it into pieces and melt it though. Yeah. There's no wrong part. Get better, Danny. Thank you, Tony Stewart. Do I sound like hell? To be totally honest, I know I sound horrible, but I feel fine. Thursday, not at all. But like I feel fine. I just feel like ugh.
Did you cover the October?
Sure did. Do you like Beckham? Do you like my shirt? You haven't even seen it yet.
What does it say? Crime
Story Lounge Boston is one of the shirts this year that your girl got early, amongst many other Crime Story.
Man, look at you and everything.
Hey,
I heard someone's gonna be there.
What the heck?
Oh, that's what I heard. I heard your boy's gonna be in Boston.
Where did you okay, you have no skills. Where did you get that? Who made that for you?
Oh man, look.
Was it Paul?
Tell you. No.
Oh, Jesse Weber. Renee, I hope you're here. Oh, Jesse Weber. Yeah.
Oh man. I just wanted to surprise you. That's why I was running a little bit late, just kind of confirm the information just to make sure everything was good and right. And here you go, man. I'm giving you the best gift a friend could give you.
I feel like punctuality is the best gift a friend could give, but this is a good second. This is a very good second. Oh my God. Oh, you got to send me that. Oh, Jesse Weber. Oh, that's Beckham's nemesis there.
Hello,
Thank you, Beckham.
Everybody. Oh, man.
Oh, my God. That is I feel instantly better. Is it just me?
Do you know who did it?
No, Shelly. Shelly, I hope you're laughing with me and not at Jesse Weber. Yeah. Oh, my God. That's so funny. Oh, good. Renee's here. Renee got to see that. That is awesome. Oh, my gosh. Headline.
Put it back up. I want to see it again. I haven't really seen it.
Hey, Susan. Oh, my gosh. How are you? Long time no see. Okay, you need a wrench because, we can't have you in here without a wrench. Okay, that is moderator. Perfect. There we go. I am so excited to see Susan at Crime Con this year. I missed you in Denver. Oh my gosh, I didn't see you at all, which totally bums me out because I really wanted to give you a hug and see you again in person. But Crime Con Vegas, I will make a point to find you at Crime Con Vegas. Yeah, Susan. Oh my gosh, you guys, if you are not following Susan Hendricks on Instagram and TikTok and all of her social, follow her. Follow her. And better yet, get her book, Down the Hill, about the Delphi case. Amazing, amazing. We've talked about it here. We did a book review here. Sometime last year. Oh my gosh, time goes by so fast. Yeah, 2025. I did a book review. Amazing, excellent book. So yeah, follow Susan on all the social handles if you are not. Oh, stop. Susan is the best. Susan's amazing. Love Susan. You know, it had Susan met you in CrimeCon Denver, Beckham. I think she might be able to attest that you are in fact not the king of CrimeCon.
I don't know. That's what some people said, not me.
Oh, for Christ's sakes!
Hey,
No.
put that Jesse Weber thing back on real quick.
Okay, no, Susan, I have such a crush on Jesse Weber. Oh my gosh. And last year his booth was right near mine. So I had like the best view. Beckham, Susan, everybody here's heard this a million times. That's okay. Susan, Beckham was just like, he had this like, oh, look at all those girls in line for him.
What? Oh my God,
you were
dude.
such a hater.
You
were such a hater. No. Susan, I would love that. I went over. I was just like, "Hi, I'm a big fan. Can I get a photo?" But
didn't you talk to them in line?
Back up. This is important, Susan. If you introduce me, that would put me from here to here, here to here. Yeah. Not sure about that hairstyle. K-Dog, it's comments like that will get you timed out. So I'm just saying, no. Amazing. He can do Jesse Weber can do no wrong.
Dude, he's holding one of your candles. It's a special scent.
He uses a lot of hairspray. A lot. You know what? Can you put
Aqua Velva style?
Perfection. You just can't. Renee knows. She knows that you are being a hater, Beckham. There was no line of women waiting to meet you. They were all waiting to meet Jesse Weber.
Most of my stickers were gone. That's all I gotta say.
I think I saw you give like 100 to one person at one point. And you're just like, please take them.
Big old stack. You're like, here, just take these.
Oh gosh. Oh yeah, but I was very fortunate. Susan came out for that little thing here in Massachusetts called the Karen Reed trial. And yeah, got to be outside the courthouse with her. The day before the verdict, I was so hoping that verdict would be announced that day. We all thought it would be announced, but the next day it was announced and Susan was there. So yeah, absolutely. Karen Reed. Thank you. I mean, who wouldn't love Karen Reed's parents? They were amazing. I remember talking about how like Susan, don't get me started. Yannetti. We have not talked about my crush on David Yannetti. That man blew me a kiss. He gave me a wave.
Didn't he talk to you on camera or something?
No, remember he did the like
or that audio or something. Didn't he say hi?
No, he waved and did the it was Alessi that was like, oh, everybody loves Yannetti. But no, I wished Yannetti acknowledged me and didn't you yell I love you? Yeah, like 20 times. But one of them, it went viral of me yelling that. Before I got yelled at by the state trooper for doing that. But that's okay. Worth it. But all right. Oh, we have so much to talk about, y'all. There's so much that has happened this week. So let's dive in. I don't even know where to begin. Kelsey Fitzsimmons. She was found not guilty. So we got the trial starting this past Monday and we got a verdict this week. So if anybody saw, and oh gosh, I have so many opinions about it. Me and my coworkers were just talking all about the cross-examination, or I should say lack thereof. It was horrific to watch and listen to, but Kelsey took the stand and she testified on her own behalf, and she did excellent. She was cool, calm, collected, answered everything very thoroughly on both ends. I was so impressed. And I will say, I'm never wrong. However, I was really nervous going into this when she opted to do a bench trial. I was so nervous because there's so much corruption in the state of Massachusetts. And I was just like, can we trust? Can we trust? Like, for example, if Judge Condone was the judge in this case, I mean, come on. But I will say I was very impressed with this judge. Very impressed. Overall, very fair across the board. Was very attentive. I was very, very impressed. So, yeah, it was. Yeah, I was so nervous going into it. So, briefest in nutshells. So, Kelsey Fitzsimmons is the Massachusetts police officer who was shot by a colleague while she was being served a restraining order last summer. So, what was she found not guilty of? It was assault with a dangerous weapon. She says, quote, "I wanted to kill myself, me and my gun, and no one else," end quote. And she denied that she pointed her weapon at anybody other than herself. So Judge Jeffrey Carpy is the one who overheard this entire trial. So he heard closing arguments Thursday morning, and he announced his verdict about 4 hours after deliberations. He, again, was overseeing it because Kelsey waived her right to a jury. So when it was cross-examination, I was like, how do I sum this up? I really want you guys to do yourself the service of listening for it to yourself. It was so bad. There were points where when the defense was asking Kelsey questions, I was like, okay, I was trying to see like, where could the prosecutors kind of like take that and make it their own to get their narrative across to the judge. So that's what I was listening to in addition to when she was testifying on her own behalf. And there were moments where I'm like, oh, the prosecution, they could have played up this. And nope. I was very surprised at that. I don't feel the prosecutor did a good job at all. I was really taken aback by his lack of understanding of the questions he was asking and the answers he was given. I don't feel the prosecutor was prepared, to be honest. And if that was being prepared, not good. At one point, and I should have bookmarked the time, he referred to Kelsey's baby as it.
Huh.
Ooh.
Like in a rush?
I think just like, you know how, like, for example, when there's some people that are just like, here's the questions I need to ask, and it doesn't really matter what the answer is. I need to ask all these questions. That was just, I think he was just in that mode. And instead of saying your son or your child, like, refer to the baby as it. The second I heard that, I'm like, oh my God. Does that make or break a case? No. But I was just like, oh, not a good look. Again, there was no jury. Had there been one, I would have been like, oh shit, you are offending every single parent. But nonetheless. So let's hear what Kelsey said after the verdict. So she was outside, and what she said outside the courthouse was, quote, "I got shot. I went to jail for 103 days. I haven't seen my son. I had to sell my home that I worked very hard for. So this is my first breath of fresh air, and I feel like I can breathe again. However, my fight is not over. I have a son that I need to reunite with, and that's where we are right now," end quote. What a thoughtful and just emotional and raw response. Because, yeah, she has not seen her newborn son. in all of this time, which is just heartbreaking, absolutely heartbreaking. So I know we've talked about this case kind of as things have progressed the last few weeks, but yeah, she is found not guilty. But again, like she said, her fight is not over. Beckham, did you happen to catch any of it or no?
I remember talking about it before. Did she know?
Did she what?
She worked with the other officer, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is one of those crazy cases, but just like the Pima Sheriff's Department had a
we'll get to that, Beckham.
I know, but they had a deputy to deputy issue too, in their historical goings on in that department. I mean, it does happen where, I don't think there was anything ill there though. Or was it just
with Kelsey? Oh, well, I purposely did not put this part in the notes because I didn't want you to see it before, because I want to get your raw reaction. All right, Beckham, let's just keep the Karen Reed trial, specifically Trooper Proctor, in the back of your mind. Think of some of the words, names he called Karen, just right?
Yeah.
When one of the officers involved in this for Kelsey Fitzsimmons took the stand, you know what he had said in regards to describing Kelsey to somebody else? A whack job. Who else used that term relatively recently?
A whack job?
I mean, Proctor, but he said whack job, see you next Tuesday, in describing Karen Reed. But it blew my mind because, okay, as law enforcement, especially living here, you can't say you weren't aware of the Karen Reed trial. You can't say you weren't aware of what Trooper Proctor said about Karen Reed, and he was being dragged for it. Yet you, as a law enforcement officer in this case, go describe Kelsey using similar word. It's just like, was there no lessons learned?
Probably not.
The stupidity.
I don't know. You might be surprised at how much they probably didn't. They got their own stuff and they, whatever. I mean, here and there maybe, but you'd be surprised how much that wasn't listened to or paid attention to, or it was like, oh yeah, just, going along type of thing.
It was just like, and he was on the stand and that got brought up, and it's just like, oh my God, here we are again. Little bit lesser degree in regards to his choice of words describing Kelsey Fitzsimmons, but I'm like, Massachusetts, what the hell? What the hell? But at the end of the day, Kelsey Fitzsimmons not guilty. So thank goodness. That verdict was announced Thursday when I came home sick. So I was like, oh my gosh, I'm not going to lie. When I came home and was like down for the count, which I mean, yeah, my first thought was like, oh my God. The verdict broke, I think, like an hour after I left work. I was like, oh my God,
remember back when we
I left to go down to the courthouse.
Yeah, but I'm trying to remember back to when this came out, how you felt about it initially, though. I'm trying to remember.
Karen Reed or Kelsey Fitzsimmons?
Fitzsimmons.
I don't think we talked about it much.
Not much, but you did. You brought it up because I remember.
We brought it up. I mean, we got to see more video footage and more things during the trial, but the way it was handled by law enforcement, like it wasn't right. It wasn't right. So I was Team Kelsey for sure. Okay, Tony Stewart, I was wondering the same thing, but I didn't want to ask. What does the 84 represent on your hat, Beckham?
Just a hat.
Translation, he doesn't know.
It's just that.
I stand by that. He does
No,
not know.
it's I don't know. It's like my favorite number.
It was the year I was born.
Oh God, no.
Beckham.
Oh Jesus.
Oh my gosh.
Way to ruin something, Danny.
Beckham's never gonna wear that hat ever again. Oh my God. I feel so like loved.
It's my sports number, my favorite number.
And it happened to be look at Tony, the year I quit school. Tony, I love that. All right, folks, we got a lot to cover tonight, a lot to cover. And yes, Beckham is going to go over the Nancy Guthrie updates as well as what the hell is going on in Pima County, but we'll get to that in a little bit. But y'all know Beckham, he needs to come, he needs to have a coffee. He needs to wake up for like a good hour before he can, do his magic. But all right.
Magic tricks up my sleeve.
Yeah. Jasmine Paez. Oh my gosh. When I saw this headline, my notes right here, Beckham can attest, it just says outrage. Y'all, if you have not been following this, it's one of those, you're going to be so angry. If you want to go down this rabbit hole of a case, feel free, but you're going to be really, really angry. And let me tell you why. Jasmine Paez has been sentenced to probation for a crime that she pled guilty to, but it was only probation. And if you're thinking, well, Danny, what's the big deal? Let me tell you, the crime that she pled guilty to that she only received probation for was attempting to hire a hitman to kill her 3-year-old son. Let's let that sink in for a moment. Probation. Let's get more details to get into this. Jasmine is 20 years old, and she admitted to submitting a request on the website rentahitman.com to have her 3-year-old killed, quote, before the end of the week, end quote. Law enforcement stated that Jasmine provided photos of her 3-year-old son, as well as a detailed location of where he could be found. So, right off the bat, this website is known to be a satirical website. It receives, from what I was researching, hundreds of similar solicitations daily. Most are a joke, most are fake. However, the website's owner in this case got involved because Jasmine's request was completely different from all of these hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, again, daily that they receive. This one was different. It stood out. So the owner got involved. He said, quote, the ability to research names and addresses and verify the intended target lived at a particular address. That is a red flag. That to me is a red flag. If that information is corroborated, that is something that needs to be looked at, and that is why I referred it, end quote. So the owner of this website, again, spoke to law enforcement, and that led to Jasmine being arrested in July 2023. Flash forward to now. On Monday, Jasmine pled guilty to soliciting first-degree murder, unlawful use of a communications device, and tampering with evidence. This is outrageous. She was facing 40 years in prison for that. But in exchange for her guilty plea, basically that offered a withholding of adjudication. So probation. She will not legally be classified as a convicted felon either. So what is her sentence? And let me use the word sentence loosely because this is wild. 2 years of community control, 12 years of reporting probation, mandatory behavioral therapy until no longer deemed necessary. I'm sorry, but when you try to hire a hitman to kill your 3-year-old son by the end of the week, I think lifetime, but that's just me.
She's not right. She's not right.
In addition, so just 2 more points. Clearly the court agrees with you, Beckham, that she's not right. Her parental rights were terminated, and she is barred from contacting her son until her probation ends in 2040. Her son has been adopted by Jasmine's mother. Jasmine does not live with her mother. She is currently living with her father. So I guess her parents are split. So Beckham, what is your thought on Jasmine?
Man, there's crazy, and then there's not ever coming back from crazy, and she's that second one.
Mm-hmm.
I can't believe that the child's gonna stay in the family, but was this a jury or what? A judge?
That was, oh my gosh, I'm blanking. Ugh. I can look it up. I'm blanking. I usually make note when it's just a bench trial. Well, actually, no.
There's a difference
there
between
wasn't
like a mother.
Sorry, there wasn't a trial because she pled guilty.
Oh, that's duh. I don't know. I mean, that's up to the judge. Then it's in the judge's hands. And again, there's a lot of, man. I'm telling you right now, I don't want to go on that route tonight. There's a lot of judges that are doing some crazy stuff, man, with convictions and letting people off and all this and that. And I think we might have touched on it last week a little bit, but there's just an insane amount of judges that are letting people go that should not be out in, that should be free in the streets. And it's evident, lots of arrests, lots of dangerous, charge, beyond the, just it's just ridiculous. And the fact that the one, she got probation, two, she's got like community service. I saw what you wrote, community service hours or whatever, and his psych evaluations. Come on, man, she's beyond like crazy. And they should have not let that child back in that family. I don't care if it's the mom. I don't care if it's the grandma. No. And I've been part of that system personally, and I feel bad for that child.
Oh, I feel bad. I feel so bad for that.
Society has, since there, or whatever county this is in, has failed that child.
I think it was the prosecutor who.
But the judge can rule when I'm telling you, there's a lot of judges across the United States that are failing society with this crap.
Agreed. So Renee is saying, I took my grandkid after he was hurt. Kids need to be with family. So I've
lived through that, and I have my own opinion.
I've seen just in my personal life, people I know who have had to take in their grandchildren. I've seen it where the not so great circumstances, because then the parent is still kind of in the picture when they really shouldn't be. But I've also seen it where the grandparent has taken in their grandchild, and the biological, whether it's their son or daughter, like they're out of that child's life, they're out of their parents' life. So ultimately, in those cases, the grandparent stepping up did the best thing for that child. And the biological parent is not in the picture at all.
Right.
I mean, I've seen both.
It could be situational, but my instant reaction is that.
Yeah, and you have personal experience with that. So at the end of the day, who the fuck am I?
The 3 month, it's the 3 month issue is that somebody could adopt it real fast. If they're older. Oh, it's a 3-year-old. I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry.
Could have done.
Yeah, but they're still young. They're still young enough to somebody to adopt. I get, like Renee said, she did make a point. The foster homes, there's also a lot of stuff that happens in those, but usually those are for the older children. The older kids, unfortunately, they get put into those, and that's when, because the adoption. people want to adopt babies or smaller children tend to.
Mhm.
So but yeah, I mean, it's situational, but my first instinct was not like, man, it's that child is still a young child, and I don't know, man, like that it's one thing if like, if the mom, was struggling with financials and just not, that kind of, how young moms do, give up their child and that kind of thing. Yeah, that's
Mhm.
one thing, right? But like for this, like she really did that. That's on a spectrum you can't even, on the.
And to be fair, me and Beckham, we don't have kids. Neither one of us. So, I don't have personal experience. Beckham does. As do many of you guys in the chat right now. I'm, seeing the conversation. And one thing, Beckham, that we don't, and I didn't like deep
Okay, hold
dive.
on, hold on. I get what the people are saying in the chat. Those are like normal, like, hey, the mom was just not a fit mom. The mom still loves the child, right? The mom loves the child still. It's like, it just unfortunately certain circumstances that they couldn't be a good young mom or whatever, right? But like that's different. I'm talking that's way different than wanting to have the child murdered.
Yeah, this is like very
That's
extreme.
what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about the moms that like they're struggling with something. They would still love the child in a
Hmm.
perfect world, right? Like that type of thing. I'm talking. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about she wanted the child dead after 3 years. Like it's not. Yeah. It's just that's where it changes for me.
Hmm. I mean, there's clearly mental illness at play. Not that that excuses anything. And
No,
to be fair, we don't know because I did deep dive it about Jasmine's parents. So, for example, yes, she's staying with her dad. We don't know Jasmine's mom. We don't know if she has any relationship with her daughter. She might not. So she might be like the best thing to happen to this child. We don't I don't know that. Um but where cases like this like become so public, which
and
I
it's
mean, this
but
happens
you
all
gotta
the
you gotta
time with
state what she
Jasmine.
tried to do, Danny. It's not one of the she just didn't feel like she could handle it. It's not that.
Oh, I know. I agree with you. I
And it's like
completely agree with
loving the
you.
child and all that. It's that is not the issue here.
Hmm.
I'm talking
Yeah.
about the
No,
specific
Jazz.
part of this crime where she wanted it to be, you know, murdered or killed, whatever you want to say it. So
Yeah.
that's a whole different thing. I get it where family steps up in other situations. Yeah, that's great and all. And usually, of course, the mom still loves the child. Not, yeah, no, I'm not talking about that. That's on the other side. The mom wanted to kill the child here.
Jasmine does not have any right to her son
So
anymore.
that's what I was talking about. And just to put the reason I said that the child should have not even kept in the family is only to protect the child because the child is a child and how we don't know the dynamics of that family, but I
We
mean, for the
don't.
mother to wanted to murder the child, I've never even heard of that.
Not the grandmother did not though.
Right. Well,
Who took
right. But
in
usually you're right.
her
And
son.
usually the grandmothers always tend to step up all the time, right? Because
And
they're
that's
the
what
most.
happened in this case.
Yeah, but you got to, I mean, I don't know. I'm thinking about protecting the child. For like keeping it in the family, it's still going to be close by. I don't care what they say.
This has gotten such attention. Like I can't everybody knows now what this woman tried to
Yeah,
do.
like, no, I wasn't talking about like let me again clarify. That's the difference for me in this, and when I said that. It's not the family or the families, the ones that step up and take care of. That's not what I'm talking about. this is different. When you're talking about the mother wanting to murder the child, that's a whole different thing there.
Yeah, I agree with what Renee's saying. That grandmother will probably not allow access.
I hope for the safety of the child.
Yeah, we all hope so. 100%. 100%. I think my big focus on bringing this case, because I know like anything with kids is very, I get that. I'm just so outraged at the system, at the prosecutor and I'm shocked that this is the deal. Like she was facing 40 years in jail, and you're just
dude,
meet her halfway.
It happened in
a quarter of the way.
It angers me because I went through it personally, and I saw, and that's one thing. The second thing, I think I've told you all before, the you know, my uncle that raised me, he was a police officer in college. At the time, it was the 80s. You could do it. You can't do that anymore. He brought kids home for the night.
I remember
because he would respond to domestic abuse situations where he felt he had to get the kid out of there. Mm-hmm. And I got to hang out. I was like, oh, who's this kid? I got to hang out for like, you know, a few hours, and then they were gone. I never saw them again. But and I'm telling y'all, man, that's a thing with me. That's a soft spot with me. So I guess to all the family members out there that have forever, you know, have taken over and helped, and that they're, you know, it's great, you're gracious, you know, to them. But this is different, where the kid's life was threatened officially.
Yeah.
That changes it for me.
Yeah. And Beckham, I appreciate you being so open and raw and vulnerable with all of us, and kind of sharing a little bit about what you've been through, as well as, you know, Renee in the chat, Shelly in the chat.
Yeah, man, congrats, you know, and, you know, applause and everything to those people that do step up. Yeah, but again, there's still love in the hearts of those moms. You know, even though they might not be a fit mom at the time, or they weren't ready at the time.
This is just a very extreme example of the other side.
Yeah, I'm not saying anything bad, because those moms still love their children, right? There's just whatever circumstances they're going through at that time, but they still love their children. This is a whole different thing. That's what got me sparked, man.
Yeah. You know, and
this is not a case of being unfit. This is a case of like, you literally wanted your child dead.
Yeah.
That changes everything.
Yeah. No, Tony Stewart, me, Paul, and Beckham got to meet and hang out with Renee when we went to LA. Like, we've known Renee's an incredible human being. Like, we love Renee. Yeah, and again, you know, shout out to, you know, Renee and Shelly.
Renee was one of the first Marines women.
God, Beckham. I love how you take like just such a raw moment to be like,
I'm sorry,
thank Renee for everything. You're just Renee. I cannot be responsible.
Awesome. No, I'm saying she's great. She's awesome. No, and like I said, I'm sorry. It just sparked me because.
No, please.
Yeah, and awesome. Yeah, great job, Renee, and all those other people that have taken in their family members and things like that. That's an amazing thing. But there's still love there from the mom. You know, it's just that time they're unfit, or they're not ready, or whatever the circumstances. But this is a whole different thing, man. Yeah. This is like you wanted to murder your own child. And it happens. You read it. You have talked about stories like that on here, where
this is an extreme example, and the outrage for me, and I think so many people that have been following this, is probation. You're facing 40 years. Just plead guilty. You know, just like, are you kidding me?
I'm telling you, there's judges out there that are just, I don't know what they're doing.
But the prosecutor, like. Yes, the judge, but the prosecutor too. Like, they could have not accepted the plea, or they could have said, you know what, we'll cut it from 40 years to 20. I think that would have been very generous. Very generous. This probation stuff for this, please.
Man, we had a case where the judge literally told the U.S. attorney he got after the U.S. This was a whole different. This was of course, a fraud case. But the judge got after the U.S. attorney when, hey, why didn't this person? Where are these people? How come you haven't brought up these other charges on these other people? I mean, he got told by the judge. He got like a, you know, and that's in a like nothing to do with murder. That's just a fraud case. But like he got a
But I get
told
what
him
you're saying.
too. Yeah, and then you're talking like this. What is this judge doing?
I appreciate, Beckham, your outrage in this in your frustration, because yeah, you should be. Everybody should be frustrated in this case. It's horrible justice. And again, I just shout out to you, Beckham, and Renee and Shelly in the chat for, again, just being so open and, kind of sharing, because it's heavy stuff. This is
look at Shelly.
Stuff.
Shelly has a lot of Shelly. I mean, like Renee, she did her thing for her family, but Shelly has a lot. Shelly's helped a lot of people. The same.
We've met Renee. She is too. Yeah, and I'm sure there are other people who are either watching.
Oh no, I'm talking about the comment that Shelly's comment there.
No, I see that. I see that too. But I just also this is one of those things I think that I think we can all say we know someone who's been in this situation of taking in a loved one or we've seen a coworker or someone in our community. Oh yeah, we know they've adopted their grandchild or taken it because of X, Y, and Z. Again, this is just a very extreme example. It's just, I was outraged when this plea deal was struck, and I needed to vent about it, and bringing y'all in for that too. Renee saying, when you read my book, you will hear about my birth mom wanting to put me in a furnace. Renee has been through, every time I think I know Renee, there's like another nugget. And I'm like, oh my God. Renee, you're more than welcome. First interview here. And I will assure you, Beckham will not be a part of it. Just kidding.
She uses her yarn.
Beckham and Paul on. Paul will scare off everybody.
She uses her yarn stuff for, to help.
Oh my God, I'm upset. You guys, I'm obsessed with Renee's channel. Like, seriously, you guys, if you are not following Renee, it's not true crime, but it doesn't matter. Like, I love it. I love it. And I'm not just saying that because I'm from Boston. We got to tell it like it is. No, I love just everything about Renee's aura is just like amazing. I can't say enough good things about it. So follow her channel, friends, if you are not already. Friends support friends. Follow it. All right. We could certainly talk about this all night, which I don't mind. But yeah, there's a lot more things that we gotta talk about tonight. So let's just keep the corruption going, shall we? These two are tied together. All right, let's jump ahead. Beckham, I sent you this link or article yesterday. You already know it. Rex Heerman, Gilgo Beach.
Oh yeah, he's guilty.
Well, he's expected to plead guilty. He has been charged, for those who aren't familiar, with 7 murders. So far,
does this guy ever go away? God, is this gonna ever go away with this dude?
Beckham, stop it! You know you like saying Gilgo Beach.
No, I literally have I watched a show about this guy. I think I've talked about this before. I saw a special. I just happened to be that night that I had the TV on. And I saw a special on it, and about the suspect, at large. Is there a serial killer or not serial killer? It's one of those shows back in like 2008 or 9 about the women that were like, it was this case, but they didn't have a suspect at the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, this is crazy because this guy has been lingering around for like almost 20 years.
I'm gonna give that a star, Karen.
So it's like, when is this guy gonna be put away?
You know what's funny?
Like seriously, it's going almost 20 years.
He's been adamant he's not guilty. Cheryl McCollum's Zone 7 podcast.
Yeah. She
has been saying since the get-go, and shame on me for not being like, Cheryl, you're right. I need to not question it. But Cheryl's been saying from day one, I think he's gonna plead. He's gonna plead guilty and avoid a trial. And I'm like thinking, no, people like this, like they like it drawn out. They like the attention. Like there's all these reasons in my head, right? Where I'm like, no, I think this is going to go to trial. Cheryl was right. It has not happened yet. With that being said, he's expected, but everything's looking that way. So I do think it will ultimately happen, but Cheryl McCollum has been saying it since day one that this man's going to plead guilty. So, let's see. Wolf is saying Rex's lawyer said he was innocent. I feel like the new reports could be bogus. I expect him to fight it.
Oh man!
Again, it's not done yet. Nothing has happened. But
what's the update on his wife and kids? Anything?
I feel like that doesn't stop any of them.
But man, there for a while we were talking about could the wife have been involved too because she had to have known.
Because one of the women ran out of the house screaming naked.
That's right. That's what it was. I mean, we've talked about. It's been a couple years.
Yeah.
It's been a long time. I think Paul was on here when we talked about that case.
Oh God.
So it had. if I'm thinking of that, we were all discussing it. That must have been a long time ago. Yeah, exactly, Renee. Like I can't believe it's been like it's almost like I've been dealing with this case for almost 20 years in passing because I didn't know that at the time they didn't have a suspect. They just had the bodies, right? The body count was high, and that was the whole show. Is there a serial killer? Who could it be? If it's a serial killer, could it be this person, that person? And they didn't even have this guy as a potential suspect on the show. So it was an interesting show because you're like, man, that's a lot of bodies, right? And this was actually before true crime really took. It was back 08, 09 was really before true crime and what true crime is now.
Oh my gosh, 100%.
But so it made it the reason I stayed on watching it was because of the body count. I mean, it had like more. It was like a lot, like 5, 6, 7 girls.
Wait, are we talking about you and your love life right now, or no? Kidding, Shelly, kidding. So okay, Wolf, I hear you. I don't think he's doing it to protect. He may say he is, like, me, I'm trying to protect my wife, my kids. People like this don't feel for others in a normal capacity, just to put it very blatantly. Beckham, what's your thoughts on Wolf's comment?
He's gonna face life. So I mean, it's the other side, man. You gotta, if the price is right. I have a lawyer friend who said if the price is right, I would defend, even though they might know the truth, but of course he's gonna try to defend himself.
Joe Records, long time no see, hon. Good to see you. Hope you're doing.
What would you expect? He's not going to just say, "Hey, yeah, that was me."
Yes, Adriel, I did hear that. Yeah. So Rex Heerman, right? We will keep you guys posted on this. Again, it has not happened yet, so it
What do
is
you? I
not
mean, what do you think about it?
him taking a plea. Again, Cheryl McCall's been saying it since day one, and I'm like, no. Until it's done, it's not over. I would be surprised.
I'm still wondering about the wife. You're right. That really kind of it's really intriguing, the fact that she witnessed right.
Yeah. I feel like him taking a plea would be it would be completely self-serving. But why I can't pinpoint. Why?
Why did the wife never say nothing?
She didn't know.
She saw a woman run out of her own house.
We don't know she saw. We don't know she heard. We just know it happened. She's not come forward to say, I heard that. I saw that.
Oh, that's true. That because we haven't gone through the whole thing yet.
Which,
yeah. That really sticks with me, though.
Oh, it sticks with me too. 100%.
Like, yeah, you're right. It's just we know that it happened, but we don't know what she heard or saw, right? Like technically, but that's very odd.
Beckham, yeah, I don't believe the news reports he will plea. It doesn't make sense to me.
He's not gonna. I mean, I would be shocked if he pleads, but he's guilty. But
there are women that would overlook it, not to be thrown out. I mean, people, not just in like extreme situations like this, people overlook a lot of
Diddy, man. Let's just say look at the Diddy case.
And sometimes it's so obvious, and we, men and women, this isn't just, women here. It's you don't think your spouse, your partner is doing the worst of the worst. And that's what was happening in this case.
Danny, now I'm looking back at the Diddy thing. I've been like in the back of my mind every once in a while, it'll just pop in there and I'll think about it. Now that I'm going back and thinking about it, they had two witnesses that didn't testify. Remember, one of them they could never find again.
Yeah.
And then one of them declined at the end and changed their mind. But they had big time evidence, or they were going to talk. They had something to, their testimony was going to be vital to the case. And with what they had and presented, I could see where, after watching that, documentary on, for that 50 Cent did,
mm-hmm.
that the other girl was around and whatever she took in, she took part in and everything like that too. I could now see how that one juror said, oh, they were all into it. After watching the documentary and knowing that the two witnesses did not go through with their testimony, that felt, it fell through. I can kind of see where the two jurors were like, well, all the people involved, they were all like into it. They weren't forced. I can kind of see that a little bit more. It's just going back. I'm just going back to like with the wife stuff. That's all. It's just making me.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Maybe the evidence is overwhelming enough that the lawyer tells the client, "Look, we had no way we can win. Only thing I can think of, I hear you, Wolf. That's certainly a possibility. My mind just goes to, I feel like it's self-serving for him to plead guilty, and I'm trying to pinpoint why that would be. I don't know. Stay tuned, because whether it happens or not, we're going to be talking about it either way.
Dude, if this guy is somehow, I don't think he will. The evidence is too stacked. Too many bodies.
Back up, he could go to trial, and then we get to go through everything and hear everything. We'll see. I don't know. It's not over till it's over. But, It's looking like it might be. We will see. We will see. I expect something in the next couple of weeks. That's just me. So we will see. Where to go next? All right, let's do this. And I'm probably going to butcher his name. Beckham. This is one of those. I love talking with Beckham about like when love goes sideways, because Beckham gets very. I mean, he gets very into every case, but those ones, Beckham, they kind of strike a nerve with you for sure, and you like, yeah. I like hearing you go off about them.
Dude, if it ain't working, just go.
I agree.
Oh my God.
I
Like, how much
agree.
why would you want to be like miserable? Or
Such an
why
easy
would you want
question.
something to, man, I'm telling you, man, these people, they stay, they fight, then they react, and their reactions cause them to do bad things, and it's, don't understand it.
Well, this one, the outcome.
Maybe it's because what I went through as a kid. Going back to the other case, maybe it's because what I went through as a child. It makes me, because I've seen it all. It just, I think as an adult, I'm just like, why would you? Yeah, it's just better just to walk away.
Completely. No,
But I
completely.
think for me, it's because of what I've seen as a child. So
No, that's
it's
fair.
not worth to stay. And like I'm telling you, man, these people, and sometimes the people are good people, but like their actions, because they're vested so much and so deeply into something that's not real, it causes them to react, and it causes them to like do some bad things. And it's,
Well said. Well said. Well, let's get into this guy, because what happened with the outcome is a bit different than what we typically get, and let me explain why. So Dr. Gerhard Koenig, so his trial is underway. So he is the man who was charged with attempted murder. He has pled not guilty. Specifically, he is accused of attempting to push his wife Ariel off of a cliff in Oahu. I'm probably going to butcher it. Oahu, Hawaii.
Hawaii.
In March of 2025, specifically March 24th, 2025. So just last year, they were on vacation to celebrate her birthday. The thing is, Ariel survived.
Jesus, dude.
How did she survive? Let's rewind. Ariel survived the attack after hikers nearby heard her screaming for help. So they called 911. She was in court this week testifying against her husband. Well, now no longer husband. What we learned from the trial so far and from her taking the stand. On the day of the incident, Gerhard, he's an anesthesiologist. He took Ariel on a hike on a very steep cliff. Ariel actually refused to go up that very steep cliff out of fear because it was so steep. But Gerhard was very, what's the word? Persuasive. And
that's a good one.
Yeah, it's making it sound better than it is. He's an asshole.
Ego.
Right. She eventually relented and went up the steep cliff. She asked him to step aside so that she could move away from the edge and down the trail. That is when she walked towards him. He grabbed her by her arms and began saying, and again, she survived, so that's why we know this. He said, "I'm so fucking done with this shit," end quote. And then said, "Get back over there." Then he got on top of her. Ariel said, and I have a quote from what she said on the stand. Quote, "He was first trying to pull me closer to the cliff." That, end quote. That's when she saw a syringe in his hand. And he said, quote, "Hold still," end quote. He dug his left hand through his backpack and held her down with his right hand. He said, quote, fuck you, you're done, end quote. And then he said, quote, I'm so sick of your shit, end quote. Ariel also stated she tried to pry his fingers away because she saw he was holding a vial. Again, he had a syringe. He continued to yell at her, saying, quote, shut the fuck up. Nobody's going to hear you out here. Nobody's coming to save you, end quote. Ariel then mentioned she brought up their children because, yes, these two have kids. There are kids involved in this. She said, quote, our kids will be orphans. You're going to go to jail and I'll be dead. Our kids need us, end quote. How did he respond? Quote, you're done. We don't need you anymore, end quote. And he started to hit her with rocks. This is when, thank God, 2 hikers nearby responded to her screams for help and called 911. Only then is when Gerhardt stopped. All right, let's take a moment to bring that in. Beckham, what is your thoughts on this? Again, she survived.
I want to know, was there a little bit more in the backstory? But yeah, complete ego by this doctor. What is his name? Gerhardt
King.
Gerhardt King, yeah. So ego, for some reason, thought he could, of course, get away. But I'm wondering what the backstory, like, I'm not making an excuse for it, but by any means. But why? What was his deal? Did he have somebody else? Did she cheat? Did he catch her cheating? That's where I'm kind of at. But nothing should be to where you kill, you commit murder is what I'm.
Well, I mean, I agree, and then we wouldn't have a true crime genre.
Right, but for the sake of the story, I wonder what happened.
There has not been on her end any talk of like her having an extramarital affair.
Or him having an affair.
Not that I've heard so far. I am a bit behind since I've been sick, so I will say. But came out in the last 2 days. I am not up to date on that.
But sometimes people just change, man. Like and they couples change, people change, and hatreds. They hate each other, and it ain't like the first night they went out on a date.
So this is the solution.
No, no. I'm saying it should never be the solution.
Well, to me, it's again, he's his defense is trying to say he's not guilty. She survived. This is such a rare. Think of what she said. He said. So she clearly did not expect this. But we see it time and time again. He's an anesthesiologist, so he's a doctor. He makes good money. But what is the biggest factors here? Money, because divorces are expensive. Yeah. Child support is expensive. Alimony is expensive. Yeah. But you know what? That's fucking life. What else? Doesn't want to share the kids. He flat out said when she brought up the kids.
But I wonder if they have a life insurance policy on her.
Mm-hmm. He didn't need the money.
You'd be surprised, man, how many people with money are in debt.
Didn't want to give out the money.
Yeah,
that's the thing. He's already the breadwinner by far. So if he had
she was a snow bunny he met in Aspen.
Sorry, say that last thing.
So maybe she was the snow bunny he met in Aspen. He met out in Aspen.
Oh God, for fuck's sake!
I'm just playing.
This is just.
I knew you were gonna say that.
I mean, thank God for those 2 people that heard and called 911. Otherwise, she would totally have been murdered by him. But there are so many cases where we hear of something like this and we're left wondering. Oh, don't get me wrong, we're still left wondering in this case. But the insight as to how she can say what he said, how it happened, how he responded when she did X, Y, and Z, when she brought up the kids, like this is such a rare insight and glimpse that we don't
we
get in cases like this.
Yeah, but these are the same cases over and over. You know, the kids, nobody cares about the kids in those moments.
She did.
Well, no, I'm talking about the person committing the murders. Like nobody, yeah, like they it's crazy how they like their kids, the thought for their children and their kids and their lives, and it goes out the window. And it's like nobody like, you know, like it's like, oh, I just felt I had to do this.
Yeah.
And then you always see the children like, I gotta go visit them in prison because they're my parent, they're my dad. It's my dad or it's my mom.
And that's tough. I mean, either way, that's tough on the child because, yeah.
The shows always end that way with the kids later, after you see that they've been prosecuted and found guilty and sentenced. Then they always, you always see at the end of the show with them going either to visit them or state that they still have a relationship.
I mean, and that could be twofold. At the end of the day, like you said, that's their parent. In cases where they do successfully kill their spouse, this is the only parent they have left.
Yeah.
Sometimes we've seen it too, where that other, the parent that's still alive is saying, I didn't do this, even though a jury, their peers say you certainly did. So the kids might not want to believe the verdict. They might not want to believe that their parent did this, even though the evidence is overwhelming. So it's either way. It's tough.
Get the divorce,
dude. Right? Tony Stewart, for a lot of people, it'd be better to be single. Ain't that the truth? So easy to lose control before you know if you're in jail facing.
Yeah, you're right. That's what I'm saying. That's what I was saying. It pits people in situations where they would do something that they normally wouldn't do, and they don't realize it for whatever reason, and it's too late.
Shelley, that is true. That is true. The courts don't always get it right. And that goes both ways in regards to convicting someone who's actually innocent or acquitting someone who's actually guilty. So it's not always 100%. I think I'm just like making a general blanket statement, which I realize.
Oh, was she talking about me when I was talking about the Diddy jurors?
No.
Oh, because I'm starting to now see after watching the documentary about Diddy, like I could see where the jurors were like. I could see how they talked about. Anyway, that's
no, and I've said before. I mean, this is a little bit different, but kind of putting emotion aside and re-looking at, like, even the Casey Anthony case, I can see revisiting that, years later, where I can see how the jury got the verdict that they did. It's frustrating, but I can see that. So kind of like taking a step back, it's just like, yeah.
How's that child now? Well, she was. That's right. She was murdered. Never mind.
Okay. Sorry.
Yeah. Never mind.
I thought you were talking something else. I'm like, wait, what? Yeah. So I am very curious about when the verdict comes in this case, because again, Ariel's taking the stand. She's alive to testify.
We're gonna get more of a backstory.
Mm-hmm. I hope to have a bunch more info for you.
Yeah, we'll have more of a backstory. I mean, not that I'm not saying it matters. I'm just saying there's going to be more to the story.
For context.
We'll have for content. Yeah, for context.
Yeah.
Of the story.
And again, if anything happened yesterday or today, big, I missed it. Sick, So with that being said, if you're like, Danny, this happened yesterday, you did. I'm behind in it. I know. Casey's daughter. Oh, Renee. Oh. All right. Becca, this is a good spot. Do you want to update a little bit on what's going on in the Nancy Guthrie case? Savannah did an interview recently, and what the hell is going on in Pima County?
I thought it was going to be a slow week, but then it picked up. God, 55 days missing. Nancy Guthrie is missing for 55 days, 54, 55, depending on the time.
Yeah.
You're right. So we talked about Sheriff Nanos giving the vote of no confidence last week, right? Was that was last week? Yeah, that was last week. Where they went before the board, the union went before the board. So real quick, that he's going to hold on. I had my notes somewhere. Oh yeah. So apparently this came out today on that he could be. It looks like he's going to be subject to testifying. Remember last week we talked about his past employment record, that they got access to it and things like that, right? So he could be subject, and I think he's going to be subject to this, to testify under oath over 8 suspensions. On 8 suspensions on his background that he was not supposed to be truthful about during the interview process to become the sheriff. So so if that happens, we're going to get more clarity on his background, which it should happen, right? Anyway, but of course his position was his position was voted on. I've heard that he's been like, he barely won, really close to call. Of course, his records apparently show suspended 8 times between 1979 and 1982, totaling 32 days for excessive, for examples of habitual tardiness and excessive force.
Excessive force is a big one.
Yeah. So, and just there's been a couple other things in his history, and people would say, hey, well, that's kind of a long time. No, I mean, that's your record. That speaks for your integrity. And you know, how important integrity is. I always talk about integrity. That's a huge thing, man. Like, look at all the cases we talk about, Proctor and his boss and his boss's boss and their boss's boss. It goes all the way to the top of the chain.
You're bringing in Bukaki right now, really?
But yeah, anyway, so that he's gonna be subject to talk about it. And yes, yesterday I believe Savannah Guthrie did the interview. Man, so many. I didn't know so many like body people existed, like expert body language people existed till yesterday. God, man, like so many podcasts or shows were out there with all these body experts. You know, that they read their body language during this. You know, they read her body language, and that was interesting.
I thought your resume also said body expert.
Oh my God. Were you waiting for that one, or did that one just come to you?
Oh, when you said that, I was like, oof.
Anyway, so yes, Savannah Guthrie did have an interview yesterday. She talked about the whole situation. There was some things that she did say that were significant. One of them being that they didn't have a suspect. That was really, yes, the whole. She's, you know, of course she's heartbroken over everything, but that was when we have a suspect, and that her brother called her and said, and she's blaming herself because her brother told her, could this be because he, you know, or she asked her brother if it was her because of her, in the sense of her popularity and that kind of thing. So, it was an interesting interview. Like I said, it was more of her, you know, of course, sad and heartbroken. I mean, come on, you know, it's her mom, and the family and that kind of thing. So,
Renee,
nothing significant. Huh?
What did they say about her body language?
For the most part, it was honest and true, I think. So
she came across very sincere.
Right. Yeah. So
Not just
I didn't see anything like, oh no, she's lying or she's not being all completely honest. No, I think for the most part they were positive in the sense that you're right. She seemed very sincere and honest what she was talking about, and
and
that
she
she's going to be
wasn't
coming.
giving away, like from what I saw back, I'm like any um like looking away or like little ticks that people would or a body language expert would focus on and be like, that's something to pay
Oh
attention.
my
I
God,
didn't see
man.
any of that.
I know, but if you guys are interesting, go look at some up because the stuff that these people read on your body language when you're being, like in your interview setting, wow, like the wrinkle on your forehead on how you answer a particular question, stuff like that. It was just it was kind of it was really really interesting. That's what I'm saying. So just check it
Yeah.
out. But no other major breakthroughs as far as that because of the interview. Now
Oh God, Beckham.
today, just when things could not get any, I don't even know how to say it, crazier. The whole sheriff thing is crazy in itself. His inability to lead, to lead as a sheriff. We've already gone through the whole thing with him. Um, like there's I was hearing the last couple of weeks about department issues, right? You had some kind of thing going on with two employees. A lot of people just not having respect for him and the way he conducts his business, and just a lot of negativity going on with him and his department, inner department stuff, right? The last couple of weeks, I haven't really talked about it because I just didn't want to. I didn't think it was pertinent to the case, right? I didn't want. I mean, I just we were touching on some of his inabilities and that kind of thing, but I wasn't really bringing any of the other negative stuff, right? Inside the department. And then today,
Beckham sent it to me. I'm like, what the hell?
just when you think nothing more can happen with the department, we know they were part of a TV show, right? I don't even know how that's going. I haven't heard anything about it yet. But here, I'm gonna post these two things.
I'm sure the TV show makes them look great.
Here, Danny, can you show that?
Ugh.
All right, so it came out this morning. I honestly thought it was AI. I didn't believe it at first because I would have sent this to you in the morning, but I didn't send it to you to the afternoon.
Yeah.
So a Pima Sheriff's County deputy arrested on charges of kidnapping. A deputy with the Pima County Sheriff's Department was fired on yesterday, March 26th, after he was arrested on a kidnapping charge. Confirmed 22-year-old Travis Reynolds was let go after the Tucson Police Department arrested him. Now that's the police department, right? Not the sheriff's. He worked for the Pima Sheriff's Department. Reynolds appeared in court today, Friday, and the judge has set his bond at $200,000. His next court appearance is a preliminary hearing on April the 6th. The state claimed, and they moved pretty fast on this, man. They really did. The state claimed a female victim said she is scared of Reynolds due to his job and due to the power dynamic between him and the victim. And the state also said that this type of incident may have happened before. That's the kicker. Of course, the internet went crazy today with this, comparing his pictures to the pictures of the perp that on the camera images, right, for the kidnapping of Nancy Guthrie at her residence. They're trying to compare his face to that, all kinds of stuff. But apparently, he's 22 years old. He played high school basketball. There's videos of him playing basketball, so he's athletic, and so it doesn't really match the gait and all that kind of stuff of the perp, kind of because the perp seemed to be struggling. Apparently, that's another thing, man. This week that was kind of interesting. A lot of people have been like really breaking this down. Oh my God, these sleuths, crime sleuths, what they're called, right?
Yep.
Internet sleuths have been breaking the video down. That apparently it looks like the perp might have been like injured or something. Apparently, based on his gait and kind of struggling with the light. I'm sorry, struggling with the camera and all. I mean, I don't know. It's been kind of interesting going this week. So the last couple of days with that. So, but another shocker, man. Another inner office issue with the deputy being arrested and charged and all that kind of stuff. I don't. The thing immediately you want to go, hey, did he have involvement with the Nancy kidnapping? But and especially with what the state put out about this isn't the first time, right? That kind of thing.
Yeah, that's wild.
So that's really crazy. I don't know. We'll have to see what comes out of it. You can't really say yes or no yet because of that statement, and then the fact that he's an insider, literally an insider.
Yeah.
I mean, like this. I don't get people, man. Like if this was like one-off, right? And maybe he just was stalking this girl or something. And you're doing your little messy thing while your department is under scrutiny. Your department you're conducting one of the most biggest investigations of this year, only because it's just starting the year, but still you have this magnifying glass on your department.
Exactly.
And you're like, you're in the middle of it. You're working this case because he just got arrested yesterday. And it's been 55 days. So I don't understand. Sometimes I just don't get people, man. So I'm just hoping this is like a one-off and he's just infatuated with this girl and that he's, he did what he did just because whatever. And I'm hoping he's not part of some other, this other something else. You know what I mean? Like something bigger. But we'll see. We'll find out. It's just funny what they said, that it didn't happen, that it has happened before or whatever. That was a kicker. That was really the kicker. Nothing surprises me anymore. So when this happened this morning, I was like, is this AI or something? And then I was like, I'm going to wait. I'm not going to send it yet because I was going to send it to you this morning. And then it was too much. It kept getting validated as the day kept going. I'm like, oh, dude, I got to send this to Danny. It's validated.
Did not see that coming.
Yeah. And what did you think when I sent it to you?
Did
you think it was fake?
No.
Oh, okay. But I was like, did you think
it was just like, you gotta fucking be kidding me. Like you said, a magnifying glass, all eyes are on your department.
Yeah, literally.
Not that if it wasn't, he should have done this anyway.
No, it's just I'm not right. It's just like, dude.
The boldness.
Yeah, there you go. That's a good point. That's a good one.
Everybody thinks they're untouchable. I want to jump back just a quick second because I said this to you.
This was not paid leave or anything. He's not on administrative leave or anything. He got terminated.
I mean,
I know, but still, that's pretty fast.
I think them being under so much scrutiny because of Nancy Guthrie.
Yeah, maybe that's why they did it. They moved really quick, huh?
If only they moved that quick on Nancy Guthrie's case, but that's a whole other thing. I did say this to you about the sheriff, Nanos, when it talked about like his past employment record and whatnot. Like, clearly he lied on his resume, CV, whatnot. But what I told you, and I still stand by it, where was the person who actually was supposed to do reference checks and look into this? Where were they? Why was this not picked up? This wasn't just like a one-time suspension or, whatnot. That this is there's a lot.
Well, I mean, maybe maybe they contacted that department. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. That's a good question. I mean, I want to see who conducted that background investigation and all that kind of stuff. I know that some people are gonna be like, man, that was like 40 years ago, or more than that, right? 40 something years ago. So, but still, man, it out. It really. I mean, your record should, especially in a position of high authority, high command.
Yes.
It should be crisp. Your record should be crisp, man. Like education, dedication, all of it. Like, awards, something, like it should be pristine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it's about integrity, man. That's what and you're in a position of like, for, to protect society and that kind of thing, man. And you're going to be, like I said, high authority, high command, respected position. And it should be, your background should speak for itself.
Mm-hmm.
There should be no like doubt that they have. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, I mean, well, I was gonna say it's like if you're the president of the United States, I can't. Never mind.
Oh, let's not go there.
I can't say that. No, I can't literally say that.
I think if it weren't,
but you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, it's like it should be something of it's an honorable, and to be a chief of police or sheriff or what, it's an honorable thing.
Yeah. And
it's your background should speak. You should hold up.
If not for the Nancy Guthrie case, this would not have come to light. Guarantee it.
No. Oh, of course not. No, of course.
Because now everybody's looking at everything.
He did. I think Nano said this. Nano said this week about, because of the vote of confidence thing. He said, "Well, I still believe in I believe in what I did I believe in everything I did was right," or something like that. He basically pulled the Proctor. In every case I worked at
I did it the same way.
Yeah, that pretty much. He pretty much.
The way I handled this case was the way I did every single other.
There you go. He pretty much did that.
Imagine if Nano said that same line. Really, you release every other crime scene that you like,
I saw a show. Oh, I saw a podcast. This was interesting. Finally, somebody that's currently a crime scene investigator went on and talked about how she does it, how she does her job, and what she would have done in this situation. It's not even very long. I don't know if it was clipped. It was like I was listening to it this morning, getting ready for work, but maybe 15 minutes, so it wasn't really long. And she cut right to the chase. She's like, I'd have done this, I'd have done this, I've done that, that to do this. This is what I would. This would have been for this. This would have been for that. And she just went across everything and how she would do it, or she would have done in this specific case. And it's just like, wow, like she made him look like a fool.
He made himself look like.
Well, I know, but like, no, but this is beyond like everything that she said was just like, wow, okay, yeah, I mean, she was adamant. It's how she does it. This is what she does. And then this is how she would have done it. So it was pretty good, and it wasn't too long. Like I said, I don't know if I listened to it was a cut of the show but it wasn't very long. It was like 15 minutes, but man, she just went right at it, and.
Good.
Yeah, it was pretty. It was interesting though. I mean, I would not want to be a murder case, crime scene. There's just too much going on, man. And there's just a lot going on when you walk up onto a murder scene. Mm-hmm. There's so much, I listened to another show and they were talking about that specific thing. I've always said that. I've always said I would not. I mean, that's a lot going on in a crime scene. Even if it's just one body. Yeah, I can't imagine multiple bodies, but one body, there's a lot going on. And it's experience. You gotta have the experience to do it the right way. That's what everybody said on the panel. There was a panel of like 3 or 4 retired people. They were like, yeah.
You don't remember the show?
No, I'm gonna have to go look at my history, but it was like experience is the one key denominator in this type of industry. You know,
Mm.
when you're doing something like this, it's experience.
Wow.
And not, you know, that leads to knowledge and that kind of thing, but it's experience because there's so much going on, so much you got to cover, so much you got to make sure that everything is done the right way and correctly, because of course you're looking for it to go to court down the, you know, or you know, you're looking for a prosecution down the way, so everything's got to be done the right way.
Yes.
And yeah, man, it was all about experience. And then, like I said, that was, I think that one was yesterday. And then this morning, that when I heard this lady talking about, she's still an act, she still does it. I don't know what she named the department or not, but God, man, the way she talked about how she would have done this case was like, wow. You would have had no YouTubers within a 2-mile radius of this place. Brian,
Yeah.
I mean, I know Brian and for news for News Nation, he wouldn't have come. He wouldn't have sniffed it. He wouldn't have sniffed the cactus, like, you know what I mean, like that's outside the mailbox or whatever. I'm just.
You mean the pizza delivery driver
Oh
when he
yeah,
was on the
yeah,
porch?
right. Yeah, no. Man, she would nailed it, man. She talked about the radius and how far people would have been and all kinds of stuff.
Mm.
I would have
Well,
double
if you
taped
do
it,
find out
double
what
sealed
that
it.
is,
It
let us
was pretty
know.
interesting. It was pretty interesting how she talked about it. And she was serious, man.
Oh, I'm sure.
She was like, this is how it's gonna, this is how it's done, this is how I would have done it. And then boom, 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 she started knocking it out. And it made the share after I listened to it, I was like, holy shit. That sheriff's a fucking idiot. What the fuck, dude? Like, holy God. I know we're in this this time where like people want to see everything, and I get it, man. You had the news people out there, you had the YouTubers out there. They were like they could touch the front door with how close they were, and they were bringing you the action, and I get all that, right? I mean, that's kind of the society we live in right now, but that's not the right way.
Correct.
You know, and it just put it, after I heard her talk, it really put it in perspective of how bad the Pima Sheriff's Department has worked this case, and how the FBI has been trying to catch up, has been trying to do everything. Oh, there's a rumor. I'm glad I remembered this real quick. There's a rumor going around that the reason Nanos went against the FBI, and there's been, and apparently now I'm going to talk about it. Apparently there's been a lot of static going on between there. Remember how at first we were like, no, let's not talk about it. Let's just kind of, there's been a lot of static between him and the FBI. So there's been a lot of, like, you know, like I said, static, right? But we've kind of already known that. Apparently he sent that DNA sample to Florida to the independent lab rather than Quantico, because of an issue that he had against the FBI in a previous case or something, that they pissed him off about something, and he's holding it like it was a personal thing. That's the rumor going around.
Interesting.
I thought it might have been a political thing, but I think it's a personal thing. That's the rumor going around.
Well, if it's on the internet, it must be true.
Well, no, it was been talked about it. I didn't read it. I heard it about. It was on one of these shows. So.
Well, you know what I mean.
Oh yeah. I mean, I don't know. That's kind of what the rumor is, but.
Wolf is kind of, following up with what you said. I couldn't believe when Brian Enton showed up at the Guthrie house, the door was open, no crime scene tape, nothing. Right where the blood was on the door. Yeah. And I will never forget.
And that was only like a few days into
from Beckham that there's a pizza delivery driver there.
That was a few days into it.
Crazy. Yeah, like Beckham saying, yeah. Man. Well, I am curious for you to keep us posted on, where is it? There we go. What's going on with this? God, I did not see that coming. I will say that, Beckham.
I thought it was AI this morning.
I wish it was.
And I was like, I'm gonna hold off. I'm gonna wait. It was like it was early, man. And then no, it kept getting more traction, more validation. I was like, all right, it's time to send it to Dan. I was like,
I'm shocked you had that self-restraint to wait.
well, no, there's all kinds of dude. There's all kinds of like AI fake stories going on in the NFL, going like and all kinds of stuff that's not real, and people are making it look real. So it's like, man, I don't know. I kind of want to send. I wasn't sure. It was early. It was like 10 o'clock in the morning. I wasn't sure yet, so I wanted to wait a few hours, and I did. So
look at you, Beckham, like a true reporter. Let me wait until I can verify this story.
Verified it.
Because it's your integrity.
Oh, it got traction fast, but like I waited about what, like 4 or 5 hours before I think it's like around 3 o'clock or something. So by then it was already validated. Way about,
God. Yeah, keep us posted on that. Because that's crazy. Well, thank you, Beckham, for going over that. Because corruption and all of that, it's not limited to Pima County. Let's go back to the next 3 cases for tonight. Massachusetts corruption. It's just horrible.
Is that the title of all 3 of them?
It should be. So this case, I'm just going to go in order here. A Plymouth, Massachusetts police officer, Samantha Paulcast, and her husband, Daniel Forand. They were both arrested on Thursday amid a criminal investigation. So, okay, earlier in the week, we learned that Officer Samantha Paulcast was put on leave, but that was all we heard. It was like no details were coming out, and everybody was like, what's going on? What's going on? Something's up, right? Well, we've learned more, folks. Officer Samantha Paulcast is being charged with 3 counts of aggravated rape of a child and 1 count of statutory rape of a child. Her husband, Daniel, is facing 20 charges, which include rape of a child, indecent assault and battery on a person 14 or over, and assault and battery with a dangerous weapon. So these incidents allegedly happened in 2019 and 2020. The accuser claimed the sexual abuse began years ago when they were a minor. So Samantha must have no contact with the alleged victim and surrender any firearms. And the Plymouth County Police Department made a statement just basically saying they're appalled by these allegations. They hold their officers to a higher standard in regards to public trust. They need to uphold the law. And the conduct alleged is in violation of our values and of our basic principles of police officers to serve and protect. So this information that has come out is alarming. It is shocking. It is extremely disturbing. So there's more that's been kind of going out there. I haven't found anything that it's like 100% verified. So I'm just reporting like the basics that we know that's in court documents thus far that has been out. So.
Wow.
Disturbing.
I just know that a lot of female teachers have been getting arrested lately. It doesn't really go into like detail. Did they adopt?
This was a child it was like a family member type. The best way I can describe it is like taking in a family member child. I hate to say to foster because it's family, but
Yeah,
kind of that situation.
right.
You
Oh
can look
man,
online, and there are some sites that have graphic descriptions of
yeah.
some of these alleged
I just,
things,
man,
but
the
nothing that could really verify through the court.
week there was 2 to 3 female teachers arrested, and then this one. It's a lot
This is
in a
a
week.
cop.
Well, look at teachers. I mean,
Yeah. Every profession. It's so crazy. But
3 teachers and a cop this week, or 2 teachers and a cop this week. I know there's 2 teachers for sure, maybe 3, and the police officer. It's a lot, man.
yeah.
Usually it's like 2 teachers a month that I see.
Mhm.
1 to 2 a month, baby. But this was a busy week.
It certainly was.
I'm
God.
not, it's not. I'm not trying to make fun of it, but
No, it's just things
it's a
are
lot, man.
ramping up and not in a good way.
Yeah.
It's scary. It is scary.
Like I said, man, like you're not hearing male teachers, you're hearing female teachers.
No, there's still I've been seeing
Well,
that.
I'm not saying that there's no males are doing. I'm just saying like the most they're getting the more traction because they're female. But this was a lot this week for that that type of situation and that type of gender involvement.
Beckham, we could probably done a true crime and chill every single night this week with like different stories. There's
Probably,
been
yeah.
so
Oh,
much.
yeah. This was and actually, the kicker was the Guthrie case. The Guthrie case kind of going like quiet up until today.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that is true. That is, I certainly was not expecting that message from you. Yeah, I'm like, what the hell? Well, let's keep the corruption going, shall we, folks? Oh, this is wild. Mass State Police Trooper Donovan Preston. 31-year-old Mass State Police Trooper Donovan Preston has been relieved of duty. On Saturday, so just like 6 days ago, police arrived in Boston's South End. Beckham, you were in the South. No, we were in the North End. You were not in the South End of Boston. My mistake. So police arrived in Boston South End at 5 a.m. last Saturday and saw Trooper Preston, quote, stopped in lane 2 of the road, end quote, with his brakes lights on. He was slumped over the steering wheel with his eyes closed. Quote, the officer observed that the car was on an in drive. The officer observed an open container of alcohol, high noon, in the cup holder. End quote. The Boston police officer then knocked on the window, quote, for approximately 10 seconds before the suspect lifted his head up, end quote. Once he picked up his head, police said he appeared, quote, confused, and he looked around. The suspect's vehicle began to roll, which the officer announced Boston police opened the door, end quote. For a visual of the type of street that I'm talking about here, for those non-local, Trooper Preston was stopped on a 3-lane outbound road with his black BMW in the middle of those 2 lanes. That is scary. That it was just sitting there, like scary. A state police spokesperson. That was so weird. Spokesperson said in an email, quote, Trooper Donovan Preston was relieved of duty and will be subject to department discipline process, end quote. Beckham, thoughts on this one?
I don't know, man. I was reading about a police officer that was convicted for drunk driving. Well, this week, they were convicted like yesterday, but I'm not sure how long ago it happened. But it's sad when you see somebody that should know better that does something. But again, man, that's just personal. I don't. It's really bad if you're if you're driving, come on, man. I don't know. This is bad.
There's never an excuse, but in this
There's never an
age,
excuse.
take an Uber, take a Lyft.
But like in the morning,
They're
I mean,
anytime.
well, I know, no. I'm not talking about taking an Uber, but like, God, where was he? Maybe he was. Maybe he had a long night. I don't know. Yeah.
5 a.m. on Saturday.
Oh, I thought it was later in the morning. Yeah, no excuse. He's gonna.
No excuse.
He might get lucky because nothing happened. But he'll just get suspended or something. Well, I don't know how y'all Boston people do, but.
Well, he's been relieved of duty, which is good. But I'm sure he'll fight
They're
it.
gonna have to fight the union. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like I said, he's lucky that nobody crashed into him.
I'm shocked that didn't happen.
Because, well, maybe he had the lights on, but the brake light might have been on.
All right, looks like.
How are y'all's roads right now?
Good night, Shelly. Sorry, say that again, Beckham.
How long are y'all still having weather issues?
What do you mean weather issues?
Like ice on the road or anything, or?
No.
Okay, only because I saw a video this past week about a car that was at a stoplight. It was the second or third car at the end, and it didn't have brake lights.
Oh.
And a motorcycle going over 100 literally plowed into the car and dead on the scene. Like the body, like in the bike, just explodes, and the body just like disappears. You don't even see the body because it disappeared into the car.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
So like people were like, well, whose fault was it? It was a whole thing about whose fault was it. It just made me think about that, you know, like with possibly having sitting there, luckily no car came and hit him. And then, you know, caused his life and then the other people's life, you know, that kind of thing. That's what made me think about that. So like luckily nothing happened. They got to him, and I'm not sure what's going to happen with his career, but you know, we'll see. You know, we'll have to just see what happens.
Yeah. Luckily
that nothing happened. He's lucky. Very lucky.
Oh, incredibly. Well, this is a good transition to the last case of tonight where not so lucky. This has been in the news quite a bit, and more information has slowly been coming out. So I haven't talked about it yet on the show, but I've been following it because it's been ramping up. So another Mass State Police officer is in the news. So Sergeant Scott Quigley of the Mass State Police has been in the news, as well as an alleged cover-up by law enforcement regarding him and his conduct. So I'll break it down. Sergeant Scott Quigley is under investigation of his involvement in an alleged drunk driving fatal crash in Woburn, Massachusetts in 2023. To go off what Beckham was saying, this case, however, killed a disabled passenger in a van. His blood alcohol level was reportedly tested at 0.114 at the hospital following the crash. The legal limit here is 0.08. So very, very much different. The problem is this detail was withheld. It only came to light when a wrongful death suit was filed by the victim's family, Angelo Chattino.
Yeah.
The thing is, as Beckham, as we've talked about, what happens when you're kind of under investigation, it carries over to your other cases, right? This is now having a huge impact on a case that Sergeant Quigley was the lead investigator in, a murder case that resulted in 3 men being arrested and put in jail. But now, because of this misconduct by Sergeant Quigley, the attorneys for these accused men, they have a lot of questions, and court has been happening. Attorneys representing the men accused in these murder cases are alleging that Mass State Police may have covered up information about one of their own, comparing it to the behavior in what case, Beckham? The Karen Reed trial.
Oh, God.
They're trying to say that the men did not get a fair trial. Whether that's true or not, they're making a pretty damn good argument because well, let's pause for a second. There's a bit more. So far, what are you thinking?
And I'm just shocked again at like you said, but it didn't the relevance of this and the fact that it was concealed in a sense.
Oh, it was very much concealed. What was concealed exactly? So dash camera video footage is now being released, and it shows Sergeant Quigley involved while off duty on December 12th, 2023, Woburn, Massachusetts. Sergeant Quigley allegedly hit a van that was carrying a 37-year-old man with disabilities, Angelo Cecchino. He sadly died a month later from his injuries on January 13th, 2024. Sergeant Quigley was subsequently named as a defendant in a wrongful death suit, again, as I mentioned, followed by Angelo's estate. DA Marion Ryan said in a letter to state police that her office was unaware of these allegations against Sergeant Quigley.
Oh my God, dude.
It was only brought to light because of those three men that were.
How is he even still a sergeant?
Yeah.
How's he even still
Oh, we're going to get to
employed?
that. We're going to get to this. Again, this only came to light because that murder case involving those three men where their attorneys are like, wait a minute. They have brought all of this to light. Only their questioning brought to light the blood alcohol level was over the limit. That was withheld. Quote, had this information been provided to this office, we would have immediately referred this matter to another district attorney's office to conduct an independent investigation into whether criminal charges were appropriate. End quote. I mentioned at the top of this case, possible cover-up. Let me read this and see what you think. State police allegedly had knowledge of Sergeant Quigley's night out drinking before the crash. 2 other officers have been indicted. Lieutenant Anthony DeLucia, another potential witness in the murder case, he's been aware of this since 2024. And Sergeant Jennifer Penton, she is heard on the dash camera footage saying, quote, they're looking out for him, end quote. Another side note, Beckham, you're going to lose your mind. Sergeant Jennifer Penton, she's been in the news lately. She's being indicted in another case. The death of a state police recruit.
Oh, wow.
Enrique Delgado Garcia. That's been all.
What's going on with that story?
Oh my God, that is wild. In the briefest of nutshells, he was again a police recruit, and they part of the, like, what's the word? Kind of like testing. I know there's a different word from it, and I'm blanking on it. Was like boxing. He suffered a concussion, was showing signs of the concussion, and they still made him do all the things. And he died. They were aware. Jennifer was supposedly aware. That's why she's been indicted in this. And they overlooked things that ultimately led to his death that should not have been overlooked. So he's a recruit. He died.
Damn.
Training to be a police officer for the state police. So sad.
I know we joke about the fact that, you know, Boston police and corruption and throughout the state and all that, but no, man, these are some sad cases.
This is bad.
Yeah, it's really bad.
Again, this information was withheld.
Yeah, that's
not
really bad.
properly. This Sergeant Quigley was not properly investigated at the scene. He was let go to the hospital. Only then did they do the breathalyzer for his blood alcohol content. It was high then. Think what it would have been at the scene of the crash. They withheld that information. The dash cam footage, she's on camera saying that they're going to look out for him. What is that? I mean, you can't not, how someone could, I know I'm just giving you all the briefest of nutshells. There's a lot in this case you can go down, but like, how can someone hear this and be like, oh no, there's no cover up. They weren't trying to help him at all. They weren't giving him a break. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? And there are other officers that knew he was drinking and driving. Like, they've been named in this. They're going to have to take the stand, and it's insane. All right, I need to stop. Back on.
No, I mean, it's bad. I mean, I can't, there's nothing. I mean, you hear these stories. I'm not going to just say it's Boston. You hear this happen everywhere, but it's just sad. I mean, it's just like, I mean, I don't know. The integrity again.
Yeah.
I can't believe with the drinking and driving one, though, that they only found out because, and that this guy still has a badge.
Scary. It is terrifying.
The other one, I mean, I don't know. It just depends what happened on site with the concussion on that thing, man. That one, you know, did they follow protocol? What was the protocols in place? That kind of thing. You could see maybe some disciplinary action there, but the driving drunk with a .11 is insane. And then only to find out that it was, you know, it only came out because of the new case.
Again, the testing was later at the hospital, like later. So it was higher.
Yeah,
like during
right.
the time of
Still,
the crash, it would have been higher.
Yeah, but still, I mean, .11 to .8.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
And who would know that? A police officer. Like,
Integrity, my friend, integrity.
Beckham, that's your word of the night.
It's always going to be my word.
Shit. Jesus Christ. It's scary.
That is the most important word, and that I mean, I know you make fun, but that's the most important word in law enforcement.
And it's frustrating because every single week I feel like we're talking about another Boston cop, another Mass State Trooper, and there are so many good ones, but I
don't know. Maybe it does. Maybe just more stories coming out of Massachusetts, man. I guess I don't know.
They're neat. Like,
I read one today in Texas, like about one of them today. I think this one happened 2 years ago, so the guy was he's being sentenced and all that. But
yeah, no,
I mean, it happens.
It is the legal limit, at least here in Mass. Yeah. Tony's adding to what you're saying: lack of integrity.
Yep.
Tiger Woods. Oh my God. Yeah, folks, this is bad. This is very, very bad. And it does call into question. People will have their opinions about, these three men that were, y'all, sorry, I can hear my voice.
You're just trying to go out.
Yeah, sorry.
It's lost its pep and its step.
It calls into question so many cases, and it sucks because, I mean, could there be some very, very bad people who were rightfully convicted, but now because of this officer and other officers who we've talked about tonight, because of their actions, is that just going to open the floodgates to be like, well, you know what?
Yeah. Was this guy doing his work drunk?
I mean,
Was this guy investigating? Was he drinking on the? What's going on here?
in regards to Quigley, a little, I can't 100% confirm. So, this was not a one-off, the drinking and driving. The other officer, Mass State Police Trooper Donovan Preston, I didn't really see that much of a question of like, oh yeah, this is a common behavior. So there will be more that will come out in both of these cases. But the fact that Sergeant Quigley was with other officers before this accident happened, and they let him drive. They let him drive.
I mean, it's not surprising, but it's to me, I still, when I read these, they're still shocking to me though. They really are. Like, I'm still like taken back from it, even though it's not surprising or shocking. I'm still taken back by these types of cases.
I appreciate you saying that, because I know we get desensitized so much to different types of crime.
I'm still taken back. Yeah.
We should not be desensitized to this. Like, it's fucking preventable. Completely preventable.
Oh, yeah.
Why? Yeah. Take an Uber and charge it to Beckham.
Thanks. Yeah, it's still, like I said, man, sometimes I still say wow, and it's still, I just not like, wow. Not shocking or anything, but I'm still taken back by them.
Yeah. No, I think that's an excellent way to say it. Renee says, cops are treated like crap in blue states. It won't attract the very best. It's heartbreaking. But yeah, the Sergeant Quigley, we've been learning more and more every single week. I just felt like, again, I've been following it in the news, but this week I was just like, all right, there's so much we got to talk about it here. So yeah, that is everything for tonight. A little bit of a long show tonight. My voice hates me right now, so
dude, it's going out. You need like some hot tea or something.
Oh my God, that sounds amazing. Thank you everybody for joining for tonight's True Crime and Chill. Tomorrow will be the rescheduled book club. And as of right now, if my voice is indication, I'm just like, shit. But hopefully tomorrow will be that much better and it'll be good. Thank you, Beckham, for joining, and thank you for updating on Nancy Guthrie, Savannah's interview, as well as this gem right here. Oh, God.
Just when you didn't think anything else could happen, man.
God. And you'll have to send me the original, but yeah, thank you for this gift of Jesse Weber.
Oh my God, it was supposed to be a funny, not a gift of grab for you.
You know, Jesse Weber. I can feel through the screen how jealous you are, Jesse Weber.
She put a lot of detail in that thing.
She did. Oh my God. Thank you everybody for joining us for True Crime and Chill. See y'all tomorrow. And remember, until next time, we don't live in darkness. Darkness lives in us. Bye, everyone.